you could probably put her against the best of the best, and it would be highly competitive. This is just the first chapter of her career, and already she would be a serious threat to the best female athletes on the planet. So, as they always say, the sky's the limit here. She could really be something special.
Helena Crevar is probably the deadliest teenage girl on the planet right now. A John Danaher brown belt at the age of 17, she's running through the competition and pulling off crazy submissions with a 3-0 record at UFC Fight Pass, Polaris, and Who's Number 1. Helena started martial arts at the age of 3, trying Kaju Kembo, a Hawaiian martial art which is a hybrid of both grappling and striking. At the age of 8, she would discover Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and eventually start training with Hector Vasquez in Las Vegas. Under his guidance, she would receive her blue belt in 2022, win multiple amateur events, and claim 6 Pan Am titles. At 16, she moved to Austin to train under legendary coach John Danaher, where she has since received both her purple belt and her brown belt. At John Danaher's new wave, she has been training with world-class grapplers such as Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, and Nicholas Maragali. Gordon Ryan has been in her corner on several occasions. While she was accoladed as a teenager under Hector Vasquez, she has become a world-class professional under the coaching of John Danaher. And with this evolution, she has started pulling off some crazy submissions. Here's our top 3 rankings. Number 3 on the list comes from a karate combat event where Helena showcases her superior guard skills. Helena immediately pulls guard, and her opponent Caitlin engages her by trying to get double unders on the legs. Helena pushes her hips back and uses this space to get an underhook on one of the arms and lock down the shoulder with a gable grip. This is a strong form of control, and Helena uses it to start making angles to create armbar attacks. Caitlin ultimately manages to get out of this, but struggles with Helena's open guard as she threatens with upper body controls and inversions to access the legs. Caitlin eventually finds herself in the closed guard of Helena. Helena threatens a hip bump sweep. As she comes back down, she uses this as an opportunity to build a high guard by underhooking her right ankle with her left arm. We can see Helena try to switch the grip on her leg to the other hand to help lock up the dead archer triangle. However, Helena may be sensing that the position is not yet correct and begins planting on her opponent's hip with her free leg. Helena moves to switch hands again, and this time successfully does so. She feeds the foot back to the original hand and locks up the dead orchard, a triangle with both arms inside. Her opponent tries to posture and stand up, but the triangle stays locked. Helena begins working for the armbar from the dead orchard. She extends her hips to make the space to finish the armbar, and Maggie taps as she topples over the top of Helena. Number 2 on the list is Helena's opening round at the ADCC Worlds, where she became the first ever female to secure a heel hook finish. Since training with Danaher, Helena has become extremely proficient at leg locks. Helena once again quickly pulls guard. We see her working to set up a high guard, similar to the last match. While Helena does start to set up some strong upper body controls with a gift wrap, Aurelie manages to break the controls and decides she doesn't want to deal with this guard and begins working to stand up and break it. Helena uses this as an opportunity to execute a mermaid sweep on Aurelie and briefly comes up on top. Helena quickly secures an ankle lock with her right hand and controls the other foot with her left arm and sits back to start setting up leg attacks. So Helena ends up in a kind of weird Rimi Ashi position where the right foot is secured in an ankle lock with a figure 4 grip and the other foot is loosely in an Aoki lock on the same side. With much less control on the other foot, Aurelie manages to free it, and Helena immediately starts to reap on the ankle lock side and controls inside space with the other leg. While Aurelie starts trying to work up, Helena uses the reap and inside control pressure to off-balance her back down. Helena starts working to control the other leg and manages to secure that on the other side of the body. Aurelie is in a really bad position here, and Helena begins working on a Z-lock, a submission which applies lateral pressure to the knee and can cause catastrophic injuries. While Helena starts applying this pressure on the knee, even using her hands to push it further, Aurelie seems to have just enough space to alleviate the pressure on the knee by slightly adjusting and moving her hips. Aurelie begins to turn in an attempt to free the knee line, but Helena further tightens her control on the legs and quickly rips on an outside heel hook to get the tap. The top spot on the list is from Helena's recent outing in UFC Fight Pass 10, where she pulled off a submission that shocked everybody. Unfortunately, I couldn't use actual footage for this one due to copyright restrictions, but I still talked through the match using still shots. Helena quickly goes to her A game by pulling guard. After some leg entanglement attempts, Maggie tries to withdraw and Helena uses this as an opportunity to trip Maggie. Helena keeps control of the foot and inverts into outside Ashi, setting up an outside heel hook attack. Maggie begins to posture up and move towards the back, a common counter to outside Ashi. Helena counters this by inverting. Helena brings her arm across Maggie's hip, trapping the foot across her body. She triangles her legs and gets a butterfly grip on the upper leg and uses this to create the momentum to sit up. As she comes up, Helena unlocks the triangle and uses the free leg to maintain stability. Helena starts working towards a body lock, and once she secures it, she pummels her head to the back and falls back down into back mount, with Maggie's foot still trapped across her body. Helena uses her free leg to apply extra on the calf slicer, while also applying a rear naked choke. She effectively puts Maggie in an absolutely horrendous position, using a hybrid submission that I wouldn't think many people have seen before. It only takes her seconds to get the tap. At only 18 years old, and with a coach that many consider to be the best in the world, it seems certain that we will see many more highlight reel submissions from Helena.